Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University and X-Men Gold issue number 35. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. You're going to start closing things up and wrapping things up, knowing that there's still one more issue to go. Not too shabby. So there is only one more issue to go, unfortunately, and that is going to be its own, because this is the conclusion to God War, this particular story arc. So the next issue is not going to be a part of an arc necessarily. I don't know what Guggenheim's going to do, but it's just going to be a total conclusion wrap-up. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, this is called God War, the conclusion. Writer, Mark Guggenheim. Artist, Simone, okay, here we go, Buafantino and Giovanni Valletta. Two artists here. Colorist, Eric Arcianega. And letters, VC's Corey Petit. The cover art is Phil Noto. So I'm going to miss this book, man. Gonna miss this book so much. Like, this is the book that's for the most part been consistently good. It was a little annoying around that what was it, the Mojoverse book, you know what I'm saying? But this one is good. So Storm is in the middle of hell, pretty much hell in her old village, and Uovo, that's the name of this dude. This is a cool. I like this character, and honestly, I know that we're going to see him again at some point, and I can't wait to see him again because he's a very interesting character. He's got a beautiful look, and I can't wait to see him, return and do whatever it is that he's going to do because, like I said, genuinely interesting. So, Storm isn't doing so well. She's trying to use her power as best she can. Unfortunately for her, while all the mindless people around her, all the zombies, the Zumvelis, are what do you call it? They're susceptible. There we go, to lightning. Uovo is not. He's just got more than enough power to spare that it just kind of rubs off him. He's like, get out of here, man. Get out of here with that weak sauce. And she tried to call her hammer, but Stormcaster ain't coming. I don't know exactly why it is, but for some reason, Stormcaster does wind up returning to her. It passes. That's what it is. Stormcaster is smart. It knew that it was dying. I guess that the energies of old Asgard, for which the hammer is tied to, since old Asgard is pretty much a wasteland at this point. Asgardia is gone. You know what I'm saying? All intents and purposes. It decided that it knew that it only had a limited amount of power left, and it knew what was best for Storm. So while it didn't exactly say that here, I was able to figure that out on my own. At least that's in my headcanon. That's what happened, because it swings by into New York, and they're fighting all these old enemies of theirs. And I like that. They got the Executioner in here. Really good to see him again. I really did like that character. So it swings by, and Kitty's like, oh, is that Stormcaster? What's going on? And it opens up a gate to where Storm actually is fighting against Uovo. So the X-Men go flying through really quick and go after him. And they're helping out. And she's just like, okay, Stormcaster's back. Thank you. She's at, maximum power at this point. She is a goddess. And she's like, okay, Kitty, I know you're in charge, but I need the X-Men out. Get all these villagers to safety, because I'm taking this sucker down. And she does. But more than that, the X-Men actually, they're smart. They know what's going on. They start flying around really quick. Oh, and of course, Prestige, Rachel Summers, she starts, Rachel Gray at this point, she starts listening to what Storm is thinking. And she's like, okay, this guy gets his power from his worshippers, so let's get rid of all of his worshippers really quick. Oh, and he's got one guy who's, like the ultimate devotee. Now we need to go after him. So for the most part, that was easy, but Uovo still has a pretty impressive power set, even without a single worshipper. Like, this dude is tough. I think played right, this guy would actually be pretty good up against somebody like, what's his name, Apocalypse. Seriously, like, as weird as that may sound, yeah, I guess if he were made in just the right story, I think he would go up against Apocalypse in a really good way. Apocalypse would win. I mean, that's just the way it works. Thanos wins, Apocalypse wins, Magneto wins, and Doom wins. But, yeah, I would still like to see that fight. And then just see what the X-Men would be stuck in between. So, the ending of this is actually the ending of Stormcaster also, and it's a genuine ending. Like, I suppose she could come back, but, yeah, I don't know if it necessarily had the intent that that Guggenheim wanted, but like I said, the art in this is really good, man. And Buonfantino and Valletta, they did a good job, because like I'm looking at this and the panels that they show Stormbreaker, this is not Beta Ray Thor, Stormcaster, the way that we see Stormcaster dying, it was really good. Like just the panel placement alone, and the events that happen next, and the panning and the zooming, the focusing, really, really played itself off well. And the expression on Storm's face, like, this is gorgeous art, and you got to give it to the people doing colors also. Absolutely gorgeous book, man. A+ on the art for, just for this scene alone, because you really felt it. You felt it in Storm's face. You felt it in her pupilless irises. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely gorgeous. And then it's gone. Stormcaster's gone. It's gone. Uovo's gone. Everything is gone, including her suit, her new suit. So she's just in her original clothes. And then she starts thinking about, what about my parents? Oh, man. This was so good. And all I'm going to say, this is going to be kind of a giveaway, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens and who exactly she meets. But you guys remember how choked up we all got for Infinity Wars? Oh, and if you didn't get choked up, you are dead inside. You have a machine heart, and may the Lord bless you, because wow. But like, real talk, man, that feeling that all of us human beings got when, for Infinity Wars, that's the feeling when people start dying. That's the view we get. That's the image we get. This is clearly what's being played off of. And there's just enough of the sentiment from what happened there to see it again here, and to get just a little bit choked, just a little bit choked up. It was good. Like, you really felt the pain that Storm had to go through. And I like how the ending of this book looks like it's going to segue, perfectly into the next issue. I'm just saying, because that's gorgeous. And like, there's all the X-Men and whatnot. What's going on? So how do we get to that point? Nothing gold can stay. You know what another really good title for the next issue, the next final issue is? All that glitters is not gold. That was always one of my favorite sayings when I was a kid. Really, really beautiful book. Really a lot of action, a lot of team play, and there's character progression. I don't know if everybody's going to necessarily see it, but I felt that there was a good amount of character progression here, because Storm got to say some goodbyes. It's hard to argue with that, man. And it's canon now. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm going to recommend the hell out of this book, dude. I'm going to recommend the hell out of this whole series. All right, that's it for me, guys. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.